Hey everyone, it's Carissa Wiley at sprinkledwithglitter.com. Thanks for joining me today. Today I am sharing two cards. It's a 2-for-1 featuring the brand new Pinkfresh Studio Christmas Presents stamps, dies, and coordinating layering stencils. This is from the brand new August 2023 release from Pinkfresh Studio, and that is their holiday release. And I am a sucker for all the holiday cards, so I thought it would be fun to take this stamp and make two cards from one stamped and stenciled image set here. And I love that Pinkfresh Studio does these one-piece stamps and coordinating layering stencils because it makes producing multiple cards really easy. So I'm starting out by stamping my Christmas presents onto some white cardstock in some embossing ink, and then I'm coating those images with some gold embossing powder and heat setting those. Now I'm going to trim this down and do some stenciling using the coordinating layering stencils. If you are someone who likes to color or watercolor, these images would be perfect for that. And I am just grabbing a grip mat here to hold my paper and my stencil in place while I add the colors. Now, I am going with a pink and green kind of theme for these gifts and presents because it is one of my favorite color combinations for the holidays. I love to bring in the deep, rich greens, the beautiful pinks, and then sometimes some aquas and some mint greens as well. And so that's what we're doing today. I started out by adding some ballet slipper to that large, tall present there on the left-hand side. And then I added just a little bit of mint ink on that round kind of hat box present. And I'm going to speed this up and kind of talk you quickly through the stencil process. So for the darker color on that round gift, I used Meadow ink, and now I'm using Evergreen on that upper gift. I've placed the third stencil now, and I'm stenciling the greenery with some Evergreen ink. And the more rounded leaves on this present here in that lower right-hand corner, I'm going to stencil with the olive ink. And I am not going out of my way to make anything too fussy or fancy. I'm just adding some color here. And around the shadow layer of this large pink gift, I used the Coral Reef ink. And then I'm adding some Evergreen to the bows. Now I'm going to go ahead once I'm done with all of the stenciling and use the coordinating one-piece die to die cut all of these gifts at once. And I did use that die once again to die cut these gifts 2 more times from some plain white cardstock. I'm just going to use those to kind of stack up the images to add dimension. Now for my first card, I'm going to use the Fa La La sentiment. This is a hot foil and coordinating die set also released this month. And I'm adding those 2 Holly Jolly and Fa La La sentiments to my Glimmer hot foil platform. I allowed the timer to do its thing, and then I removed the platform from the base. I took that over to my Platinum 6. I'm adding my champagne glimmer foil with the pretty side facing the design of my plates. And then I layered on some smooth white cardstock on top of that, and then my thin shim and my spacer pad that come with the glimmer. And I ran that through my Platinum 6. And now I have 2 beautifully foiled sentiments, and I used the coordinating dies to die cut those out. So I decided to use the Fa La La on this, and I am going to use an ivory for my base. Now I did do my hot foiling on some white cardstock, but I'm kind of mixing up the white and the ivory because I love that look. Now I'm grabbing a few of these snowflakes from the large Snowflakes die set. I have several of these pre-cut and they're in little bags in the back of my die set so that when I'm ever ready to create a card, I can just go ahead and pull some of those out. And I'm just using some liquid glue and kind of creating a little kind of corner scene with these snowflakes onto that ivory cardstock. And I did want to mention that panel of ivory cardstock was die cut using the Pinkfresh Studio diagonal stitched rectangle dies. I absolutely love these because they add that special little something on the edge of your card panel. Now, once I have those adhered on, I'm going to go ahead and flip it over and trim off the excess. And then I'm going to layer up these gifts using the extra white die cuts that I created. Now I'm going to create 2 cards from these 3 Christmas presents that I've stamped and stenciled here. And on this first card, I'm going to use the large rectangle gift and then that smaller square gift with that beautiful bow on the top. So I'm just going to stack those up first, like I said, to give them just a little bit of heft and dimension. And then I'm going to start positioning my pieces on my card front. Now for this smaller square gift, it's going to overlap that rectangle gift, and I didn't want there to be extra bulk in the area where it overlapped. So I just kind of held it up to where I think it's going to be positioned on the card, and I just trimmed off any of those extra layers that I didn't need so that this can then sit flush on the card with that other gift. So now that I kind of have my layout worked out, I'm going to start adhering all of these items onto my card front. I am using liquid glue for all of these items, and as I place things, you'll see me add some acrylic blocks over the top of the images just while that liquid glue kind of sets up. I have my beautiful hot foiled sentiment here that I'm placing onto the card front. That also has a couple layers of plain white die cuts behind it just to give it a little bit of dimension. And then I'm going to add my final present there on the bottom. Now for some other projects that I created for this release, I had some leftover sentiments from the Basic Banners Christmas stamp and coordinating die set. So I'm using those. I'm layering up a colored piece of cardstock with that heat embossed sentiment that's on the vellum there for the bottom of my card. And then I'm going to finish this card off by adding some ruby glitter drops to the center of my berries on the gift and some champagne glitter drops kind of sprinkled throughout the card just to give it a little bit of shine. And then I'll take this entire thing and add it on to an A2 top folding horizontal card base with a layer of foam adhesive, and that finishes off my first card. Now for my second card, I'm kind of using some of the same elements. I'm using a single snowflake on that right-hand side. I'm adding my little gift there, which also has a couple layers of plain white cardstock behind it. And then I'm adding another one of those Basic Banners Christmas sentiment strips. I love these so much, and I love to layer them up as well. And I'm going to finish this off once again with some champagne glitter drops. And you can see I've added the ruby glitter drops to my gift there in place of the berries. And then all that's left to do is add that on to my white card base using a layer of foam adhesive. And that finishes off my 2-for-1 card projects featuring the brand new Christmas presents, stamps, coordinating dies, and stencils from Pinkfresh Studio. I also brought in a couple of their other new holiday products because I know how you guys all love to see those in action. And I think this release is so much fun. There's so much mixing and matching and layering that you can do. And I absolutely love these white snowflakes on an ivory background. They make the perfect textural layering element for any holiday card. Now, as always, you can find links to the featured products used in these projects in the description at YouTube. So if you're looking for something in particular, be sure you check there. Leave me a comment below and let me know which of these two cards is your favorite. I love them both. This second card is just so clean and simple and easy to assemble. And I think I could make that over and over again throughout the holidays. Thank you so much for stopping by. Thanks for watching. I'm so glad you're here. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notifications here so you don't miss any of the paper crafting and card making video tutorials shared. Thanks again for watching, and until next time, I hope you have a fabulous day.